to Comic-Con, a geek podcast for the rest of us. A geek podcast for the rest of us. Comic-Con, a geek podcast for the rest of us.
Let's get rid of Comic-Con. Let's just call it. Do you remember?
Do you remember? Remember that time? Remember that time when like there were like Thundercats and they had to like fight like Mumra? Remember that?
Remember? Yeah, remember that.
Remember berries?
Mhm. And gummy bears.
You remember Sarah Connor Chronicles? Anybody? No.
Anybody remember Daenerys Stormborn?
Oh.
Right on the nipple.
Right on the nipple. And welcome to Comic-Con's podcast, a geek podcast for the rest of us. Who are the motherfucking rest of us? My name is Nick Stevens. I am your host. But in a way, aren't we all? Looking at some cleavage. Joining me on the ZWM Bucks 250 is my co-host with the most, the Motomoto, James Powell, with all his glory. And this is good too, because this is going to be going on YouTube. So the more visuals, the better. The more visuals, the better. So this is good. This is fan-fucking-tastic. We hope you guys are out there being safe in podcast land.
Having safe sex.
Practicing safe sex at all times.
We need to know. Are the Kanzis getting
Are they getting
average sex?
Right.
Are you getting your daily dose?
On the
are you
reg.
getting your weekly dose for those married guys?
Right. Are you guys behaving? Are you well behaved? Are you misbehaving?
Or are you cheating on your wife? Whichever. Let us know.
As long as you're safe, right? That's the thing. That's the thing
Yeah.
that should ring clear. Don't worry about morality. Just make sure that you guys are being safe.
Any Kanzis out there committing infidelity, write us. Let us know. Give us the story.
Let us know. Sing it to the rooftop. Sing it from the
It
rooftop.
doesn't always have to be about Batman 89 over here. It could be about your escapade.
Hell no. I mean, after all, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight? You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you?
No.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's why we're here. And you might be wondering what we're actually talking about tonight, Mr. Powell.
I do. I have no fucking clue.
You just jumped on.
Yeah.
How do you feel? I feel like Bane right now. I just want to put my hand like right there on your shoulder. Like, how do you feel? How does this make you feel? You just come on the call. You don't know what we're gonna do.
You feel in charge?
Do you feel in charge?
Yeah.
You join me on this thing that we do.
Mhm.
This thing that we do, and we're doing it so well, doing it so well. I can't stop staring at the cleavage.
Mhm.
He's got a picture of Daenerys, okay, folks, as his background.
I know how weathermen feel now.
For all you audio listeners.
There's a snowstorm coming.
For all you audio listeners, I just said, as opposed to visual listeners.
Mhm.
For all of you folks that are exclusively listening to this podcast without watching the YouTube ones that we throw up from time to time, the visual is Daenerys with a AI enhanced rack in a.
Who says it's AI?
I say.
Who says it's AI? Who says that?
I say because I've seen the real ones.
Who told you that?
The real ones. The real ones told me. Because didn't she get naked in that?
She got naked in everything.
Well, she did get naked in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But then I thought they digitally did some stuff there too.
Oh no! When he took her in that hut the first time, she got naked.
But when the fire around the eggs, I think that was the digital one.
That was the digital one.
Because I think by that point she was like, I don't want to keep taking. They get to a certain point, they being actresses, and they get to a certain point where they don't want to have to take off.
They being women.
Yes, sure. The fairer sex, okay? They get to a point where they don't want to take off their clothes anymore. You start getting some extra zeros on your check, and you don't want to drop the clothes. Why?
You don't want to drop the clothes.
And yet, in some professions, the more money you make, the more they take.
And that's called porn.
I was going to say a progressive tax rate, but sure.
All right.
Let's bring in the new year, right? Okay.
But who got naked more on Game of Thrones? Like you said, that's right. She did start wanting to digitize her her nakedness, but somebody else kept getting naked though. The Red Witch, she kept
Well,
getting naked.
let's talk about my girl here, right behind me. There, where is she? Where is she? There she is.
Oh yeah.
You know, she got naked quite a few times.
Did Cersei really get naked though?
She got naked. Come on, she got railed. Tits were flopping, flailing.
I know
Also,
she had a lot of sex scenes, but I can only recall like maybe here and there where she really showed
I guess I meant like consecutively, consistently,
consistently.
without any digital mumbo jumbo. You know what I'm saying? Without any like, hey, no matter how much money I'm making on this show. Then again, I guess
Yeah,
one
yeah,
could
yeah,
argue.
yeah.
I mean, Amelia Clark was probably more of a, you know, she was probably negotiated a higher salary at some
Right,
point.
she was the star.
Right.
She was the star.
Did Momoa Aquaman himself get naked a couple times? I believe he did. I
I
believe
don't
we
think
saw.
Aquaman didn't get naked. We never saw that package.
We never
I
saw the
wanted to see
ass.
that
We saw
package.
the ass though.
We saw the ass, but I wanted to see the package.
You wanted to see the cock.
The one that Jason Statham, carries around.
You can say
I
it. You
wanted to
can
see
say
the
it.
package.
You
The
wanted to
package.
see the.
The package.
You can see the. You just want to say the package. The package
Yeah.
is a Gene Hackman and Tommy Lee Jones movie. From back in the 80s.
Never look at the package.
Who hurt you, young man? Who
Mm-hmm.
hurt you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's what
but
we're
I don't
talking
think
about.
Momoa showed it. Momoa or Jon Snow. You never saw
Jon
Jon
Snow
Snow's piece.
definitely didn't. No, you never saw
Dinklage never
his.
showed it.
No, Dinklage never dropped his berries.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. Really, there wasn't a lot of schlong. Not even the Winter Snowman King himself, that
No,
zombified son of a bitch from the ice. He
no,
didn't even show his ass. You
no.
know? Why couldn't they have had one guy on Game of Thrones say, that zombified son of a bitch from the ice? Come on, that
That
would have
would have been nice if they had dropped
right?
the Z word in Game of
Come
Thrones.
on. That zombified son of a bitch.
Hmm.
You know?
And then you have to introduce Rick Grimes at that point.
There you go.
Speaking of which,
Let's talk about it. He's coming back.
I'm going to do it.
I'm
I'm
gonna
going to do
watch
it.
it.
That trailer looked good.
It sucked me in.
Like and I'm not gonna go back and watch like the spinoffs and shit. I'm just gonna jump in it from where I left off.
Are you
Season
gonna jump
6.
back in the whole series to catch up to season 6 again and maybe do like a whole like redo, a rewatch of it before you watch this new one or no?
I've seen in comments that people said that you it would be best to watch all the spinoffs before this show.
All the spin-offs, do we really have to? What is this even called? It's like Walking Dead, the
The
ones who
ones who
live?
live, right? But
Yawn.
I think you
Jesus.
would have to watch the Negan one, and you have to watch Daryl's
Mm-hmm.
spinoff as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay. It's
I'm
funny
not doing.
because if we were professionals and we had a producer, they'd probably throw up a picture of Walking Dead, but instead I'm just looking at the
Right.
fucking
They would have the trailer actually rolling by now with the voiceover, you know.
right, but we're not gonna do that. We just have
No. Still waiting for that production, from Tubi, I feel like we could get on Tubi, Pluto TV, wherever they do free
yeah,
TV,
yeah. If we
you know.
ever get to that pinnacle of success, that point, that zenith, it's probably gonna be on Tubi. That'll be our highest accomplishment would be.
I mean, let's not stand on ceremony here. I mean, we could land HBO Max deal right now. I'll take that shit.
See, I'm just settling. I feel like if we got an original Tubi show, I'd be happy with that. You know,
You'll be happy with that? Fuck that.
I'd be happy with that.
I would like to have a weekly Saturday night show on HBO Max.
But think about this. Think about how poetic it would be for us to end up on Tubi side by side with some of those fucking horrific movies that we reviewed about a year or so ago,
And we get to review them.
and we get to review 'em. You know, I mean, I'm just saying, it would be very poetic, and
It
it would
would be
be a
poetic
paycheck.
and dangerous at the same
It
time
would be
because
very dangerous.
those folks will come and and kill us because of what we're going to do to their film.
Well, I also do believe that maybe some of the would be those straight to Tubi movies where it's like about you've seen the one. Sometimes I get the feeling those people are very real, if you catch my drift.
They are real.
Like it's prostitutes playing prostitutes, it's murderers playing murderers. Like some of
It's
these
porn
people.
stars on there really trying to act.
And
Because I
what's
know,
wrong
I,
with
know, I
that?
know, I know, I know a porn star when I see one.
What is wrong with that? And you think they used that rack from somebody else and just photoshopped that bitch? Can we talk about that some more? Can we
You
just
like that?
it's fucking me up. That's right, kamikazes. This Joker here is not on the reg, so you can tell. Just one set of cleavage and it's fucking me all
Because
kinds of.
that's perfect cleavage right there, buddy.
I mean, it's pretty
Those are
fantastic.
C cups,
And
prime C cups.
it looks convincingly real. Like I'm
A,
one.
this AI shit is gonna be the end of humanity. Let
It's
me tell
the
you
end
that
of
right
it.
now. You
I'm
you you have the perfect background up because that's how we're gonna be fucking looking.
yeah, that
If
is.
they making women like this with this AI generated shit,
I can't believe you never gave that
God help
Sarah.
us all.
I can't believe you never gave that Sarah Connor Chronicles a chance.
Never.
You started it, but you just never.
No matter how many times Hulu wants to put that on my recommended list,
You just never fucked with it.
I'll never play it.
Mm, I'll never.
Cause is it canon? Is it canon?
Sure, it's canon.
It is canon.
It's canon.
It's not canon.
It's canon. It's like in between Rise of the Machines and After Judgment Day.
Mhm.
It's canon.
Don't need it.
Or maybe it's its own thing. Who knows?
Never did.
Okay.
Never.
So you're gonna watch Rick Grimes hang out with Michonne. They'll
Mm-hmm.
rekindle their flame.
Mm-hmm.
Is this burning an eternal flame? Sorry, that was just for you.
Oh yeah.
Gotta break it out of you now and then. Sometimes you gotta knock the cobwebs and the dust off the vocal cords, and
Mm.
you just belt out a tune.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Can I tell a little a story? A
What
little
are
more?
you? What are you? Not
What do
not
you
not
mean?
your pronoun, but what
Hmm.
are you? Yeah. Are you a baritone or
I'm traditionally a baritone, but I can do tenor.
you can do a tenor?
Yes, I can do a tenor.
Hmm.
Is that right? Is that right above baritone? Or no?
I think so. No, no,
Soprano?
no.
Or
Yeah,
is
no,
it
no, no.
soprano? I might be soprano. I might be in between baritone and soprano, if that's right. For all you musical geeks out
I
there that
thought it was
actually know,
tenor. I thought
let's
soprano was the high one.
now I'm never gonna forgive myself. You know, baritone,
I mean,
tenor,
you don't know by now, folks.
voice type.
I'm a bass.
Baritone is middle range. You're definitely bass.
I'm a bass.
You probably be baritone. I'm probably high.
Ba-da-da-da-dum, dum, 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 dum,
A
dum.
baritone cannot be a tenor, so I lied. Baritones and tenors are two distinct vocal classifications based on the range, but you can be a high baritone.
A
This is
high
according
baritone.
this is according to the machines that we were just referencing.
Okay.
Uh, Baritones typically have a lower vocal range than tenors, and their voices have a different timbre or quality.
Hmm.
How you like that voice?
It's almost like how this Amelia would sound.
Hi,
That
would you
would
like?
that bother you? Would that bother you if she
Fuck
talked
no.
like
Fuck. If that body came in, fuck no. She was like, "Do you want to squeeze these titties? You can squeeze these titties. Oh yes, oh yes. Make me come. Make me come." Like it wouldn't matter. Or you could just put it on silent mode and just go, "Mm-hmm. All
so
right.
she has the chatterbait voice.
Yes, this game will make you come in 20 seconds. Why keep masturbating when you can?"
You know it by heart. You know it by heart.
It's not my fault that chatterbait comes up when you're just trying to surf
It's
the hub.
like it's
It's engraved in my memory. Not that I watch a lot of porn
I
by any
mean, you
means.
know it better. You know it better than me. I only know the JG Wentworth song.
Look, how does that go again?
I have a structured settlement and I need cash now.
Call 1-800 settlement cash now.
Call JG
Hey,
Wentworth.
Wentworth
877 cash now.
now.
If JG Wentworth would like to sponsor Comic Con's podcast.
Speaking of personal injury lawyers, uh, I watched that Burial movie with Jamie Foxx. It was a good little flick. I don't know if you know, he played like a real character that was a successful
That
personal
is
injury
with
lawyer.
Tommy
Tommy Lee
Lee.
Jones,
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
good little movie.
Okay.
And our girl from Lovecraft too.
You
That
like that?
Smollett.
Smollett. Yeah.
Mm. I don't know why I had to stutter on that one. Again, I think it's the cleavage fucking me up.
I mean, you could put her face on this right here. I think it'll work good too.
Fuck yeah, dude. Just maybe drop the tint down a little bit.
Just put this on any flat chested piece of.
This piece of shit.
I wasn't gonna do that. I was.
I think I'm starting to come out a little bit more because I was PG the last show.
I know you were very PG.
So
You kept it
just,
Disney.
I know. I can't help it.
We need Netflixy.
Netflix is kind of.
But you said you had a story to share.
Oh yeah. So this is circa 2001, short, not too long after 9/11.
Hmm.
I don't know why I'm
What a
chuckling
way to
after I
start.
said that.
What a way to start.
And I don't know why this came to mind, but there was a homeless man in the park outside of the dorms when I was in college, and friendly enough guy.
He said,
I don't
"Sir, can you help me?"
know. He had a voice. I mean, he could sing. You know, heavy set guy. He just had a voice. I guess he'd probably be a baritone too, but he had that like Motown sound with a little bit of that rasp, a little bit of the edge to it, you know, and
He was a white
around
guy.
black guy.
Okay.
And around the time, I feel like you're trying to set me up there. Around the time,
Why couldn't a white guy have a Motown sound?
well, very rare. And around the time, give me the beat, boys, free my soul.
There you
Thank you,
go.
Bolton. Thank you, Bolton. Who's the other guy with the beard? Michael McDonald. You
Yeah,
count him as
George.
a,
Yeah, Michael McDonald. Yeah.
would you throw that in the Motown influence
Oh
for
yeah,
him?
definitely.
For
Him
him?
and
Okay.
Kenny Loggins.
Kenny Loggins, get out of town. I just got
Oh
a
yeah,
Kenny Loggins record.
yeah.
Yeah. The wife was saw some records and picked a few out for me, and Kenny
Oh,
Loggins was one of them.
nice.
Isn't that nice?
Mm-hmm.
I got a little record player in my office, so
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when I'm working on my great American novel, I play some music and we get to it.
Mm.
Um, but anyway, so he's out in Monroe Park in Richmond, Virginia, you know, and he's singing his songs like he always does, and then he kind of breaks. He takes a break, a beat, and now mind you, it's one thing to be a homeless person. It's another entirely to be a gifted homeless person and to sing songs and maybe you throw them some change and you always feel a little validated giving a homeless person some money when they're actually like singing a song or doing a thing or doing a shtick. You know what I mean? Because you're like, oh man, you're like earning your craft. You're like you're busking. You know what I'm saying? He starts breaking into this song and he goes, Osama bin Laden going down. Osama bin Laden going down. And it was I'm not doing it remotely any justice, but he had this spit to it, this spunk to it. Osama bin Laden going down. It was so fucking good.
Mm.
And he asked me straight up. He was singing. I gave him like $1 or two or whatever. And he looked me straight in the eyes. And he had the kind of eyes you'd see like in the Omega Man, you know, like the white eyes, you know. But he wasn't blind, but he had like this cream over his eyes, you know. I don't know if it was like post cataracts or mutation or something. Maybe the ooze spilt in them.
Mm.
He looked me right in the eyes. He goes, "How we gonna live?" And I just looked. I didn't know how to respond. I just like, "I'm gonna live." And he laughed. He said, "You're gonna live, huh?" And he cackled and he walked off into the sunset. Never saw him again till years later when he was working at the grocery store. Picked himself up from his bootstraps and had a job at the grocery store
Mm.
and didn't smell of booze and piss.
Mm.
So the moral of the story is, kids, just sing a song that's topical. Don't try to do any originals, you know, but try to do something that's topical or do an original that's topical. And that's your break. That's your big break. Not really quite sure why I thought of that anecdote. I think it had something to do with the singing and the dancing, breaking out into song. But yeah, a nice little folksy tale about a, you know, song and dance man.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know if he's still alive today. I hope he is. I hope he's still working. Hope he's clean and sober. Uh, yeah, that's it, and that's the show.
Mm.
You got nothing?
Huh? No, I don't have anything on that.
Huh.
There's
Wow.
there's nothing to go off of that. You didn't
Do
give me
you
too
think?
much.
Do you think? Do you think we could have heard Osama bin Laden going down in the days of post 9/11 and it could have been successful if we had the same kind of viral marketing that we have now?
I mean, I'm sure if he had TikTok at that point, he would have had the same kind of success as the Ocean Spray guy
There
did
you
with
go.
that Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Or the guy, who's the guy that they just found and he had this great voice and it was a big news story. He had a great speaking voice too.
Hmm.
He got a job as an announcer on TV or on the radio, but then he went back out into the wind.
Really?
And again, yeah, it was an old news story. Maybe somebody can email us in and because that's what we're talking about tonight, homeless heroes,
Mm-hmm.
homestruck heroes. I like the
Oh, okay.
alliteration.
I guess the homeless guy, only homeless guy that comes to mind for me is Kai the Axe guy.
Oh, the guy that fucking murdered that person with an axe. And when they interviewed him beforehand, he seemed like a harmless little hippie guy.
But I think he was harmless.
I think he
I,
just got put in a situation.
yeah, he wasn't a serial killer, but he was just,
He was
he
off
was
his.
kind of messed up in the head.
He was a little off.
He was off, but
Synapses weren't firing.
yeah, but he didn't have bodies under him though.
No, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he only killed one guy, so
only
I
killed
guess
one guy.
the hot take on it, he was just so hot for saving the woman with the axe
Right.
at first, but then, he ends up going back with that old man sucking his dick and he didn't like it.
Mm, didn't like it at all.
Didn't like it
Didn't
at
like
all.
it at all. This
Beat
was
the
post
hell out.
Kimmel, post
Huh?
Jimmy Kimmel.
Post Jimmy Kimmel, right. It was
Yeah, right.
what? Like 2 months later.
Mid 2000s ish.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
mid to late.
They were thinking maybe like '07.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
man,
What a
oh
turn.
07. What a turn.
Yeah.
Moving on,
Mm-hmm.
as we do so graciously on this show. Um, Osama bin Laden going down. You hear about this new Star Trek? That's right. You can go. You can go back there. It's okay. You can go back there. It's all right. Have you heard about this new Star Trek movie? Go
Movie
get the
or the animated series on
the
Netflix.
no the movie. It's a movie just got announced. Star Trek movie in the works by Andor director.
Not with a pine this time, right?
No, apparently this will take place decades before Kirk and Spock. How you feel about that?
So this is not even Pike then, huh?
Not even Pine or
Oh,
Pike.
so what's the point then?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm picking your brain, big guy.
I mean, if you have no ties to Kirk or Picard at this point, what's the point?
Well, it's funny because I saw this on Instagram, and the picture that Hollywood Reporter used was a picture of Picard and Data rowing on a raft, and I'm like, why would they even pick that? But I think the only thing that comes to mind was they maybe were trying to bite off that Picard success because everyone's talking about that
Right.
Picard. So if you see Star Trek and a picture of Picard, you're more likely to maybe look at the picture, stop and read the post. And but yeah, apparently it's decades before, obviously way before Picard, but before Kirk too.
Hmm.
Maybe after Pike, but before Kirk, maybe like a midpoint. And they said it's supposed to expand the Star Trek universe. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I would rather see some early on like Picard stuff at this point, you know?
Like a young Picard.
Yeah, I want to see young Picard. We always
Kind
see
of.
like young Kirk.
Yeah, kind of like what they did with the J.J. Abrams Kirk movies.
Mm-hmm.
Like Picard meeting his crew for the first time.
Right. What's wrong with that?
Oh, I would like that. That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah.
J.J. Abrams' company Bad Robot is also producing this,
Hmm.
and the director of Andor is
Well, you
attached.
can't go wrong with that. Like he knows what he's doing. He did his thing with Andor, so I'm not
I
worried.
mean, if it's
I'm
written
just
and made like that, yeah,
interested in this story. Like, how
yeah.
you gonna do anything like without a tie to Kirk or Picard?
Oh, speaking of Game of Thrones, though, did the producers and the writers from Game of Thrones, they're doing that Netflix show, three pe three body problem.
Hmm.
It's about like a alien invasion. I don't know if it's a
Hmm.
series or movie.
The same showrunners that did Game of Thrones. Those
That's
guys.
what I'm saying. Those
Is it
guys.
Goyer and
It's David Benioff and some other guy,
hmm.
two other guys. David Goyer was on Game of Thrones, was he?
I thought that was Goyer. No. Uh, Golf?
Sure, Michael Goh, who played Alfred.
Michael Gold.
He
No,
came back from,
not Michael Gold.
he came back from the dead.
Can't remember those two guys. I can see their
I can't
faces right
either.
now.
Yeah, I don't know. I was sorry. I was thinking about Star Trek, but then I saw those bazongs, and I, Jesus, man, the kid is so. Sometimes take glasses off. Sometimes you can see
mean,
better without the glasses.
she fogs up the glasses, huh? Cause look at her face.
I'm looking.
Is that how a mother of dragons should look?
No.
Like I said, I wish you could have seen the full picture. Like this full lingerie thing that she has on, like you're only getting half the goods on this. Like the body,
Oh, there's more underneath.
there's way more
You
underneath.
can't find me the original. You didn't peruse that long.
No, I have I have the original, but I
You
cut
have
it.
it. You have it saved somewhere.
I had it saved somewhere.
Mm.
It's the way she looks at you, huh? That
It's the way
smug look.
she's smiling. She's friendly, and those are just hanging out. I don't know.
Like is red the only color that works right here? Like, can she do like sky blue or any other color like a violet? It's the red, huh?
She
The
probably
red,
could.
the white hair.
It's the red and the white. That's what it is. But I wouldn't mind seeing a caramel touch on that too. Honestly, it's just that body. You could really put anybody in that body. You're absolutely right. It doesn't fucking matter if it's Daenerys or Catwoman. Or even Halle Berry Catwoman. Whew.
Have you seen the prospects for the Supergirl?
I have.
You have.
Let's talk about it.
They look kind of boring, but I guess
There's one and we're on brand tonight with Game of Thrones. That Red Dragon.
Right.
Red Dragon? Jesus, Nick. House of
House
Dragon.
of Dragon. Right.
What girls were in Red Dragon? What's her name? Alcox?
Al Cost.
She's the young queen. She played the young queen, and she has that shape. That shape to her head alone makes it look like she.
Yeah.
I don't know, just dirty. Just naughty. Like when she's in with her, I guess brother.
Was it a brother? Or I thought it was an uncle.
Her uncle.
Yeah.
And they're in the town square, and then they jump into that little nightclub, that little medieval nightclub. She's getting finger banged. Good thing this is going on YouTube. And because there'll be a video of me forever going, and she's getting finger banged. She's not the girl you take home to mom and dad, is all I'm trying to say.
So you don't want you don't want that Flash Supergirl.
I actually do.
I mean like a variant of that, moving on into this gun universe.
Sometimes I don't know why they didn't just stick with her, because I like her a lot.
She was okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't think she overacted at anything. I mean, her role kind of sucked.
Right.
She only got to do so much until, rolling over and over, Zod stabbing her in the ass.
But even if they broke away from her and they went with the CW one, I'd be good with that.
Oh man, nothing can top that. I always thought she was perfect.
Because I always thought, yeah, she embodied that pretty well.
Yeah, I always thought she was perfect for that role.
I mean, whoever they decide on is going to be fine.
I mean, you got somebody right here.
Right there with that Power Girl rack. Just gonna. Speaking of Power Girl racks, how about that Mando movie? Have you heard about this?
I've heard about it.
Movie, Mando and the Grogu.
I've heard about it. Everybody's wondering what will Grogu's first words be.
Fuck and you, right?
Probably something like that. Everybody's thinking, this is the way.
That'd be nice. But
way this is. Way this is.
Way this is.
Yeah. He's going to be talking that backwards shit.
He has to talk backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Season 4 is also coming apparently though, which is confusing a lot of fans. Everyone's like, "Wait a minute, are we just getting the movie or the show?"
Because where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Like, there's pretty much nothing else he can do right now.
There was that beast thing. The what was it called?
I
That
mean, oh yeah, I mean the mascot for
the
Mandalorians, but
mythosaur,
yeah.
whatever the fuck it was, and it was underwater, and I thought we were gonna get more with that thing. I thought that thing was gonna come out. You know,
Is that his name, or did you just make that shit up?
I think it's called that, right? The mythosaur, the mythosaur.
You just you just sound so
Oh my god, it really is mythosaur.
you was into it. Okay, Mythosaur.
According to Wikipedia, it really is
Okay,
mythosaur.
Mythosaur. Okay,
All right.
I wasn't expecting that.
I don't think I was expecting that.
Yeah, because I mean, you got Mandalore back. You're not dealing with the Jedi no more. So what else
Right.
can you do?
What else can you do?
And that's what I've been saying about Star Wars, man. Like you can only do so much outside of outside of the Force
Hmm.
until it gets boring. Like
Right.
that Andor shit though. That Andor
That
shit,
was pretty solid.
that's dope.
That was solid because it was a new angle,
Right.
a new style,
Right.
a lot of new characters.
And they saved up, and you didn't need a Force wielder in there. Like
Right.
uh I can't remember his name, but he was able to do that shit in space with that little plane, that little fighter.
I
You know,
think
I
they
was
fucked up. Yeah, I think they fucked up with the like 1 and 2 were really perfect, and then that weird 2.5 with having him come in during Boba Fett was where it kind of went south because they just focused on him getting Grogu back in like a real season 3. Boba Fett could have had his own thing,
yeah,
even though it was cool seeing them all interact. Like I didn't like Boba Fett should have just been Boba Fett, you know. I feel like, and that's why people, talking about like fatigue, they're like, "We're getting a movie and a show. Just make a solid movie or make a solid fourth season."
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I guess I guess the other thing he would go off of, I guess, is Thrawn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that too.
and I guess they're gonna
Oh, maybe
put
it's all supposed to tie
Ahsoka.
together.
Yeah, they'll be working with Ahsoka again.
Ah, yeah, which is also getting a season 2,
Yeah,
which you loved, Ahsoka.
I liked Ahsoka. Yeah, I liked Ahsoka
Yeah,
because like it because in the beginning, like I said, when they first introduced Rosario, it's nice to see a real looking older Ahsoka, but Rosario can only do so much.
she can only do so much.
Like those fighting movements weren't that fast. So
No, yeah, but again, if we put her in that body,
and forgive me if we see Rosario in the future and she happens to pull up this show.
a friend of mine, close friend of mine, at Boofer81, he he messaged me after listening to the last episode. He said Michelle Pfeiffer is never coming on your show. I said, I just had to laugh because I'm like, you're absolutely right. And if we even had a chance in a cold
The
day in
chance,
hell,
why wouldn't she come on this show? What have we said about Michelle Pfeiffer? I was talking about Selena Kyle.
fair enough.
There you go.
But just happens to be a character that she's closely associated with. For even now, years later, people are like,
Even now, you still call her Catwoman,
I mean, what else would I
and
call
not
her?
and not what's her name? Diana Vance. What's her name?
Diana Vance.
What's her name? Ant Man's wife.
Aunt May's. Oh.
Jana Van Dyne.
Janet Van Dyne.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is it Jana?
it's Janet.
Janet.
Yeah,
Janet
because
Van
isn't
Dyne.
the daughter? I forgot the daughter's name. I don't know. I think it's Janet.
Mm-hmm.
Because Mickey Dougie's like Janet,
All right.
Janet. Because Hope is the daughter.
Yeah.
Hope is the daughter.
There you go. There we go.
There we are, folks.
Sometimes we remember what goes on in the
Sometimes
MCU.
we can remember what happens to the characters. Uh, yeah, yeah. No, I think I do. Yeah, ever since I was 10 years old, man.
That's how you gonna be for real.
Hey, what
I
happened?
remember.
I don't remember. I thought the microphone was plugged in, but it's not.
I remember when the Guardians met Thor for the first time, and it
Oh,
was
it
hilarious.
was so good. And
How about that first meeting with Thor?
that Star
And
Lord had to mock him.
and
Are you mocking me?
and,
I'm not.
and Star Lord is saying he's a dude, and then here comes Drax saying, "You're a dude.
This
This
is a
it's a
god man.
man. It's a
This is
man."
a god man. And
And
Gamora's
then
touching his muscles like,
and then she came over to touch his muscles and everything. Oh, where is that in the MCU now? Can't get that.
well, I think it works when you just put people together. And I think at the last few phases we've had nothing but these like origin stories, and they're trying to do it in this show format to make us swallow it a little bit better. Like I think Loki, you get a little bit of that because you get that nice Owen
Loki got a little bit of that.
and that Loki back and forth, which is nice.
We didn't get none of that in Black Panther. Black Panther was sad.
Yeah,
There
that's
was no funny
there
parts in
was
Black
no.
Panther.
I mean, they tried a little bit with the Hobbit with Martin Freeman
Yeah.
here and there. Um, but yeah, it works when people are just together. Like that's why I think that Doctor Strange movie worked on some levels because
Yeah.
you had those extra characters popping in,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what we do. That's why we come back because you want to see Rocket hanging out with Thor. You want to see Gamora hanging out with I don't know somebody else that's not a Guardian. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? We like that. We like everybody. That's why the Infinity War was just something else, man. You saw everybody hanging out and meeting each
Mm-hmm.
other. I am Steve Rogers. You know,
Do you believe in this MCU stuff?
what do you mean?
In the MCU?
Oh, the women.
Yeah.
A lot of women.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about that Echo for a second. Uh, I won't even spoil. Well, fuck it. I'll spoil it because you don't care. You don't really care, right? Are you really going to try to watch this at some point?
No, I do not care.
Will you be miffed if I spoil it for you?
No.
All right. So I didn't even watch the whole series. I kind of did some reading online and read some stuff. I made it about an episode and a half in. And I just quit. And it's nothing against the production. It's nothing against the actors. It's nothing even against the way it was made or anything like that. I don't really buy into a lot of the MCU theories. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's great that we have more female characters. I really liked the Marvels movie. Um, I thought it was fun. Had a good story. Villain was kind of one dimensional, but whatever. Um, with Echo, it's just a character I don't care that much about. And I think that's the difference. I think why do we care about Echo? Like, what's our motivation to care about Echo? She worked really well in the Hawkeye show because maybe she was a bad guy, maybe she's not. We don't know enough about her.
Anti-hero.
Yeah, and she works like the way she would work showing up in a Daredevil comic. Like, ooh, who's
Mm-hmm.
this chick? And then she shows up. I just didn't see the point. And then Kingpin has been turned into this person with like superpowers, like he just can't die. And it's like, I get that he's a big motherfucker. I get that. But he's not a metahuman. You know what I'm saying? Like he gets shot in the head, in the eye,
And that's it.
and he lives. You know what I'm saying? He lives.
He gets shot for real?
He gets shot in the eye because remember Hawkeye ends with her shooting him. The gun goes off. We don't see what happens.
Okay.
Well, the first episode of the series of Echo is like a 45-minute previously on X-Men, where they just give you the whole rundown, dude. And I'm talking, they go all the way back, and they just give us snippets. It's like that's the whole first episode is like
From Daredevil, Hawkeye.
we're getting snippets of Hawkeye as Ronin and all that. We get the Kingpin
Oh,
death. We get him waking up in the hospital bed. Spoiler alert: at the end of the show, just fast forward to him on a plane saying he's going to run for mayor, and that's where we leave off, where Kingpin runs for mayor. And I guess he'll either be in the new Daredevil series as mayor or not. But I don't know. I'd like to see Echo show up again and like she could go side by side with
you're not the
Daredevil.
mayor.
Things change. It was more like things change.
Quick sidetrack. The
Yeah.
delivery when
Yeah.
Keaton said, "You're not the mayor." Like, how long did he work in his trailer to deliver that day on
Oh
set?
man. Oh man. It's good, man.
It's great.
It's just natural, and he does that. Things change.
Things change.
It's great.
Right.
It's great.
Right. And so you're saying Kingpin running for mayor in the next batch of Daredevil.
Yeah, so it's like it's from a.
She actually looks like Elektra right now, though, right?
She does. She does kind of have a little bit of a. She does. Ooh. Can you imagine her as Elektra?
Oh, it'd be perfect.
Mm.
She'd be a much better Elektra than she was Super Scroll.
Yeah, that Super Scroll was not. That was not.
I mean, is she Super Scroll or was old boy Super Scroll?
I mean,
I think she's Super Scroll.
yeah, yeah. I guess in the MCU for what it is,
Okay.
it'd be Super Scroll. Unless I can't remember. Did it fade? Was it like a temporary thing, or does it go away?
I
Or does she
thought she
have it
had it for a minute. I thought she's gonna
forever?
keep it. Right.
That's not where I was at. That's not where I
Hmm.
was at with it. So maybe I don't know. But yeah, the MCU.
The MCU.
I don't bump
I mean,
into this
I
that
see it
much.
going that direction. I see it going that direction. I mean, let's not pretend. I mean, you got the Marvels, you got
Mm-hmm.
Scarlet, WandaVision, you got
Mm-hmm.
this
See, I didn't see.
Echo.
I didn't see WandaVision as like a very, even though it was obviously like Wanda's show. I didn't see it as a very like girl power kind of show.
Mm.
I
And then
just
you
saw
got
it.
Miss Marvel
Yeah, that's true.
and
But we also had Moon Knight, and we had She-Hulk.
yeah, Hawkeye. But what was Hawkeye really? Who was the main person in
Hawkeye
Hawkeye?
was really a Kate Bishop show, or the
It
handing
was
off to
it
Kate
was it
Bishop.
was right, Bishop.
Mouth of Madness. Multiverse of Madness was largely Wanda centered, which is
Hmm.
So I guess you could make that argument. And Schuler likes to point out that a lot of the new Marvel stuff, like it's always the female saving the dude, like in
Right.
Quantum Mania and in I guess even technically in Multiverse of Madness because America Chavez comes in. But I don't know. I just don't bump into that as much.
Hmm.
You know, like I think it didn't. I think the first three tier characters, the big tier characters we were ever introduced to with this whole thing was Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America.
Hmm.
And I think that's the difference. I think like we see that and we're like, oh, okay. And now in these newer shows and characters, it's more females than it was before. So that's
Right,
why.
because Captain Marvel was the lack of a better term, the man in the Marvels. She was the main hero.
Right.
I mean, was that a Captain Marvel movie or was that the Marvels?
I feel like it was still a Captain Marvel movie.
Was it Captain? So that's her second movie.
Yes. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
her sequel.
Yeah. So, like you're saying, you're seeing more of the woman save everybody now.
Hmm. Just like that set of tits right there is
Right.
saving me.
This, this will save humanity.
The world could be
What you think?
saved.
What you think it smells like right here?
Oh, underneath.
Yeah, right there.
It depends. What has she been doing?
She's just been standing there
The whole time.
the whole time. The whole time.
It just smells like that strawberry stripper fragrance.
Oh wow.
Hmm. Like that fresh
Strawberry stripper.
that fresh spray on
Uh.
where it's like fruity,
Mm-hmm.
sweet,
Mm.
type 2 diabetes, all of that.
Mm.
And then after a little bit of sweat, you get a little bit of that, almost a little bit of that
Do
BO,
you
but it's
do you
like
need
mixed
them to
in.
be kind of moist, kind
I
of
like
sweaty?
It's nice to have a sweaty tit,
Mm.
you know? What's wrong with it? Nothing.
Oh, nothing's wrong with it. Nothing's wrong with it.
The way Halle Berry says, of course you don't need a cure, because nothing wrong with you.
Mm.
She put some sass on that for Rogue when Rogue was thinking about getting that cure. She goes, of course you don't need it, because there's nothing wrong with you.
Yeah, what? She lost. I hate that she lost that accent real fast.
You get it in the first one.
You get it in the first one,
Sometimes anger and pain, you know?
and
And
then
then it's
it
completely
just
gone in the
goes away.
second one. And then in the third one, she's got that sass because she was pissed to be in it to begin with.
And she definitely didn't have it in Future Past.
No, she didn't have it in Future
Yeah.
Past. There was supposed to be a love interest thing with with Wolverine in that movie. They cut a scene out where they kiss. I think I've told you this a million times.
Hmm.
Because now I'm getting old, and not only can I not remember shit, I'm like, did you hear about that time with fucking RoboCop? I haven't told you that story before. You know?
Getting repetitive.
I mean, I think so. Tell us, Kamikazes, are we getting repetitive? Are we, or is it just me? You know, are my slippers really stinking,
Hmm.
or do I have some originality left in my body? You know,
Hmm. I don't know. I mean, looking at your background, who knows?
look at that background though. Like, you can't tell me that's not a little enticing when you see it.
Nothing is enticing about ruining a franchise with this show.
You can't imagine another Terminator other than Arnold.
Why would there be?
Why can't there be?
Why would there be?
Why can't there be? I think it's fascinating. Why would he be the only mold? Why would he be the only cybernetic molds on models? Wouldn't they, if these Terminators are so, Skynet is so smart, wouldn't they want to infiltrate by going back in time with different models? Kind of like what they did in
I mean,
Rise
they
Against the
they they
Machines.
made a 6 foot tall white man. He can infiltrate anywhere in the world.
They did do the liquid metal. I get it. But what I'm saying is like with the other models, like maybe before T1000 or maybe like shortly thereafter, they do a female
I
robot
mean, you remember
T100.
the guy that raided the bunker in Terminator One? He wasn't Arnold. The one
Oh
the
yeah,
dogs
yeah,
started
yeah,
barking
yeah,
at
yeah,
and Reese
yeah.
had to kill.
God, I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that's what I'm saying. That fascinates me more than just an army of Arnolds. I feel like I like seeing the different models. You know what I mean? Like that's fascinating to me. Like all the different T800s and the T1000s, and then the forms they decide to take. Like Shirley Manson was a T1000 in the show from Garbage, the singer from Garbage. At one point, this guy's pissing in a urinal, and the urinal turns into her, and she kills him. But what I can't get over is like at one point she was a urinal that he was pissing on.
Hmm.
You know, it's like a chrome urinal, and she turns into.
It was a chrome urinal.
She she might have just been the chrome apparatus on the urinal that turned into, like, she was different than T1000. She could.
What is Sarah Connor Chronicles? What, 97?
It's no, it's like 2007.
2007.
I feel like, yeah, it was like 2007, and it came on Fox, which of course was its downfall. They
If
put the
that's the
whole
case,
show
yeah,
out of
I was.
order.
I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't with that. I was in Smallville.
Right. You were. That's we talked about this. Yeah, you were in Smallville, and I was in Sarah Connor Chronicles. But my
Yeah,
point is, like, had they just done this maybe a few years earlier, or even perhaps a few years later, like if that shit came out like now, like on Netflix or something like that, it'd be gangbusters.
you think this show would be gangbusters?
I think the reason why Terminator hasn't worked, the new ones, is because they're banking on Arnold. He's too old. There's some fun parts for some of those new ones, like even the Genesis and Dark. Okay, Genesis actually had some cool parts. That opening was pretty badass.
She was in Genesis.
She was. She was. And they were not. They were not in Genesis. But if you did it on Netflix, man, like now, today, come on, man.
Now today,
You don't think so?
she can't be blonde. She can't be brunette though. She has to be blonde.
Okay, she has to be blonde and have those tits, and she's a
Yeah,
Terminator.
right.
And those never get fucked up. You know when like the face gets half fucked up with it's like
No, no. They those stay there.
right.
Because who is Cersei in Sarah Connor Chronicles? She is Sarah Connor.
Yeah, she's Sarah Connor.
Oh, okay. And
Lena
John's still
Lena
a teenager.
Lena Headey. Yeah, and the John is like a junior senior in high school at this point.
Okay.
And that's the whole thing. He keeps popping from school to school. Lena even gets a boyfriend at one point, but then leaves him. He's a paramedic. He comes in and out of the show. Uh, but he's the guy. You remember the guy who's like, "Hi." He does those commercials. He's like, "Hi, I'm Trouble." Who's that guy? He was on fucking Rescue Me. He's the brother. He shows up. He's a good time. He's a good time.
And
The
we just go from town to
we
town,
just go
getting
from
into
town.
adventures.
They're on the run and they're getting to adventures. But the best part about it is that like there becomes John Connor develops almost like a love interest type relationship with the female T-800. And it's so hot.
So
It's so hot.
hence
It's so hot, dude.
you enter the scene at this point. Okay.
Dude, I just kept watching and watching.
Because how much older is the T1000 than John in this one? How old is the
You mean
T1000?
the
Should be.
T800?
She's a T800.
She's a T800. That's what I'm saying. She's a
Oh,
T800.
okay. I thought you said she was a T1000.
No, no,
I'm
Shirley,
not gonna watch
Shirley,
this show to verify
Shirley,
either.
Shirley Manson. Shirley Manson is the T1000.
Okay.
Shirley Manson is a T1000 that turns into a urinal and kills a guy. Okay?
Hmm.
Doesn't kill the guy as a urinal. He pisses on her. He pisses all over Shirley Manson. She turns back into her true form, kills the dude. And true story. And and Summer Glau plays the T800.
Okay.
Goes to high school with him, and they pretend to be brother and sister.
Oh, okay. So hence that's where you enter the scene again. So
Stop right there. Stop right
you,
there.
you
And then
want to see some.
there's a point where she goes, "I love you, John," right before he has to like shut her down because she goes rogue. Something with her programming goes fucking haywire.
Uh-huh.
She's on a fucking death hunt for him, I'll kill John Connor. And right when he's got the upper hand on her and she's pinned down from some machinery, of course, he's getting ready to fucking take her chip out and she goes, "I love you." And it fucks him up. He becomes basically infatuated with her after that. And Lena Headey's great. She's so great as Sarah Connor. She might even be a better Sarah Connor than you know who. And she goes, she goes, "It's just a machine, John. She doesn't feel anything." "That's not true, Mom. I felt something that day." And you want them to get together, but you know it can't happen because she's a robot. Look, I'm just saying, it also happened to come on at a time in my
What are we
life.
looking at? We looking at what? 2 seasons, 20
Two
episodes?
seasons, 2 seasons.
Okay.
It's worth a deep dive. What if we watched it together?
Huh?
Huh? I went through Voyager.
You went
Hey,
through Voyager.
I did for you. All right. I didn't make it all the way through. I went a couple seasons. But Voyager's a lot longer than Sarah Connor Chronicles.
All right. Hence a better show.
Fair enough. Not arguing that. I'm not arguing. I'm not even arguing that it's a great show. I'm
Actually, you
just
know
saying.
what? I will. Since you said that, I'll roll with you since you went on Voyager. Yeah,
I mean, I'm just
I'll
saying.
give it one season. If this shit doesn't get my dick hard the first season, I'm not going.
It's very dated. So
What?
you have to.
Voyager was dated.
So you have to get past that. Like you have to get past the style
That's
of
no.
it.
That's no problem with me.
Okay. Keep
It
taking my
could be.
glasses away.
I'll let it be my lullaby.
It's a great lullaby.
It is.
I'm gonna put it on tonight.
How about that pilot? Should I watch the pilot?
Skip the pilot. Actually, no. Watch the pilot because that's when she
Watch
says.
the pilot.
Because that's when she shows up in his high school and she goes, "Come with me if you want to live." Hmm.
But did she bring these things?
She brings a little bit of something else. I can't quite place it. Take a look real quick.
She doesn't bring them. She doesn't
She
bring
doesn't do anything.
shit.
She doesn't do anything for you.
Hey, that's a good shot of you. It look like you could be in the movie then. Look at I mean the show. Oh yeah.
She doesn't do anything for you, huh?
Her? No, she never did when the show was on for real.
Hmm.
It was
All right.
always about Lena.
I
It was
always had a crush on
Now,
her.
Lena.
Lena, Selena. Hey, speaking of reunions, were you a big 28 Days Later guy?
I was a fan of 28 Days Later. Not so much 28 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Although that opening to 28 weeks still haunts me.
We're looking at 28 years now.
We are. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So this is like the first time. Correct me if I'm wrong, because you might know more than me. But isn't this the first time we got the fast zombie? To my recollection, this is when we got the first fast zombie.
Fast.
Yeah, because even in the what's his name? God rest his soul. The guy that did the original, George Romero. All the original Dawn of the Dead, whatever, Night of the Dead, Night of the Living, Return of the, they were all slow. That was the thing. None
But
of them were ever fast.
I thought Pitt had the fast zombies.
But that came after.
Teenager.
But that movie came after
After what?
28 Days.
So you're talking about it in 28 days,
Yeah, I'm saying
you
28
got the
Days.
first fast zombie.
The original Danny Boyle with Cillian Murphy. I think that's the first time. Cause remember he's in that church and
Right.
the thing sees him and it's like, "Arr, arr, arr," and it starts running fucking towards him. I remember seeing that and being like, oh shit, it's fast.
Yeah, you're probably right. I never seen a
They called
fast
it like
zombie
the
before.
rage. What is it? The rage virus or whatever.
Hmm.
Like that. That is terrifying. A
A
fast zombie.
fast zombie.
Yeah.
What always terrifies me is the zombie that could talk.
It's very interesting. I don't think I've
Hmm.
ever really.
I thought they had a few in Walking Dead that could talk,
Like, how would they talk?
huh? They
How would they
still
talk?
had a little bit of their humanity left.
I guess that is creepy.
Right.
Just not terrifying.
No.
Like if I'm zombified and I go, Batman 89, you know,
Hmm.
that's the
Hmm.
only thing.
I'm like, well, what do you know? He can talk.
What if it's just quoting Batman 89, but everything else is fucking dead?
Oh wait, you don't. I don't know. I guess I'll just keep your torso and keep you on a leash.
You could do that.
There you go.
You could do that. I'm excited. I'm excited to be getting a sequel to that all these years later.
Because how many years later are we looking at? Because
20,
28 weeks
28.
was, what was
Is it
that?
really
That was like
28?
late 2000s.
I would
No,
think
I
the
mean not late 2000s.
I
I
think it
mean
was
like
early. I think Days
2003.
Days was like late 90s, early 2000s.
28 days was
Yeah, and then Weeks
98.
was like mid 2000s.
Okay.
So yeah, it makes sense. Same creative team. Yeah, just keep wringing those hands right next to those. Could you cup one? Just cup
Hmm?
one. See if you can get one good right there in the. Hey, that's and that's a show, kids. That's a show. We just wanted to bring you some of the news and some reviews. Echo
There you
is
go.
worth the trouble. Actually, it's really not worth the trouble.
Not worth the trouble.
Well, in my eyes. What do I know? I talked to some other people and some other friends that they like it.
I know I haven't seen a lot of reviews saying that people like what they see so far. They saying this is reminds them of what Daredevil brought when he stepped on the scene
It's
in
nice
Netflix.
seeing him show up. He shows up in the first episode, and
Right. I saw the fight scene a little bit,
it's nice seeing him.
not the hallway, but
It's
it's
not the
okay.
hallway. It's not
Yeah.
the hallway.
Not the hallway.
Well, plus they were selling this as being like a big gritty thing, and I think I talked to you about this earlier today. Like they're selling the gritty titty, nitty gritty titty. But then you watch it and you're like, I've seen all this before.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen those before tonight. What is it? Let's just close with this. Let's just break it down right now. Can we just break it down? Can we break it down? Seriously, let's break it down because no one's ever talked about this before.
Nobody.
We might be the first men on the planet to talk about this.
Okay.
What is it about a great set of tits, like a nice set of cleavage like that? Obviously, there's no areola, there's no nipple. She's not nude, but just seeing the cleavage. Sometimes the cleavage is more than the actual thing itself, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
What is it about that? What is it about seeing the mammograms right there that stimulates something in us?
Is it the valley?
It might be the valley.
Is it the valley? And the fact that they are, sitting up.
I have to wonder. You know what I mean? I have to wonder.
And what if?
What if?
Mm-hmm.
It's a hell of a thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Hmm.
If you could virtuosity her, would you?
Yes, absolutely.
Parker Bond! Barnes.
If I could weird science her,
Oh, let's talk. So, how would you want to bring her to life?
I would make.
Virtuosity style, weird science style, um,
I would.
Matrix style.
I'm gonna fuck you up a little bit. I'd probably bring her in weird science style.
You
She'd be. Weird.
want to have panties on top of your head.
Mm-hmm. I have no problem with it. And then she would come in. You and I would be next to each other,
Mm-hmm.
panties on our head. She'd come in there, and
With the same outfit that
would she be Amelia Clark or would she just be like that body with like?
she has to be Amelia Clark for me.
Okay,
Look at that face.
it's
Look at
nice.
that face.
Yeah, and then we would just go to town.
Yeah.
And
Did they fuck her? Did
no,
they
they
fuck
never
her?
did. They never did.
Are we sure?
I'm positive. Because she was going to at first. She was going to
She
fuck him.
was.
But they were so nervous. They were terrified. And she just became their best pal
I think she
instead.
jerked him off in the shower.
She might have. Still a good time.
That weird science.
I mean, you're in high school and Kelly LeBrock is in your shower.
Right.
That accent.
Those lips.
Those lips. Chips,
Yeah.
whips, dips. He ain't even got a license, Lisa. He ain't even got a license.
Because what else was she good for?
On the telephone. I don't know what else she was
She
really in, to
wasn't
be
good for
honest.
nothing else.
What
She
was
just
she?
found them a good time.
Oh, you mean her, the character? Yeah, I was gonna say the actress. I don't know what else she was from. Like she was an actress or a model.
I think she was a model.
Okay,
Yeah, she was a
she
model.
she did a pretty good acting job in that movie.
Yeah.
It was pretty spot on.
I mean,
She
she went
liked
on
him.
to be like a good actress. No.
Yeah, I liked. It was platonic in the sense that they stayed friends and it was nice, and they both got their girls.
You like that they stayed friends?
I do. I kind of like that they kind of hung out, because they created her. It could have gotten weird at the end, and it didn't.
They can get weird with me.
I didn't mean like that. I just meant like it could have gotten weird with the whole like we created you, you know. Like what if her skin started melting because they didn't do something right? What if it went into a fucking Cronenbergian like fucking fly type shit where they created her and she's beautiful at first, but then by the end of the movie she's like, you know,
I don't know. I think I would just get power hungry or somebody like that.
like
I am your creator.
like you must
Kneel,
be.
kneel before Zod. Because she can't get pregnant. She doesn't have any diseases. I created that.
You created all that.
Right.
They did it out of magazine clippings and
Magazine clippings, just off the
couple of
top of the head.
couple of floppy disks.
Yeah, but we got the template right here.
You got the template right there. You got that 2.0. I think I just wheezed mid speak. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
takes my breath away.
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely not going to peruse anything else tonight. I'm going to just go right
Right.
to Arcana Chronicles.
Let's go right for it. I'm going for it myself.
Okay. Well, if we said anything on this show that made you ponder your existence, question your morality or mortality, or in other words, just made you wonder, where do the milky white breasts come from as James lays his head on there to go to sleep? Just remember, at the end of the day, it is just fiction, right, James?
For England, James.
England, James? Closing time, James?
Closing time, James.